It's your man, Third Sherman, aka the last word bender, aka Sneezy F. Casey. Please say the Casey. And you are now listening to the one, the only No Fishing Forever podcast. Insert clap, insert clap, insert clap. Yo, hope everybody's doing good, man, this week. Um, been been a struggle for me a little bit. I don't like saying I'm struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like the problems we say we got is so minuscule, Patreon, for compared to the stuff that other people got to deal with, or other places. So I try to be careful. And I remember where I used to be too with myself. So I try to be careful when I say I'm not doing good, because I'm doing a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I believe in falling forward. You feel what I'm saying? I believe in falling forward. Meaning, when you fall and things get bad, you call yourself, when you do something that you can consider, or people would consider, a failure or a loss or something like that, falling forward means to learn from wherever you fell from, or just be further along. If I fell face first, where my head is farther than my feet. You feel me? So I've learned by the time I get up, I'll be a little bit further ahead, you know what I'm saying? Keep that for free, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk today about just money, and just the mindset that we have behind money. I ain't no financial advisor, none of that. I'm not even gonna start educating. I'm not. It's more less of advice and more of just like, why is it such a big deal? Why is it consume everything? Why is money, or the actual description says love of money is the root of all evil, but people say it wrong all the time, because people don't actually read the Bible. They just hear what people say about it on TV. But they said most people think love money. People think money is the root of all evil. So I'm gonna just kind of lean towards that instead of trying to recorrect, which I've been trained. But I I don't know how I feel about the situation, because here's the thing, y'all. Here's a little quick story, y'all. I got this event, and I'm supposed to be going to in a few days, actually, and I'm broke. Even if I get down there, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got everything together, but I ain't got no extra. I ain't got no food. Ain't no nothing. It's just me going to this thing, right? And I'm just like, man, imagine never having to think about. Like, I was thinking about. Let me bring this up too. This is relevant as well. I entered a contest, or a sweepstakes, I guess I should say, and it was like, donate some money and you can win some money or something. I can't remember all the details, honestly, but I entered it forever ago, and I forgot I did. And then I got an email from the company, and it's not. I don't know if it's over yet or if it is, but it was like a promo email that was completely irrelevant to what I entered. But I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that content. But then I was thinking, like, if I won that money, or if I won some money, what would I do? And it's easy for me to say when I'm broke, right? About all these plans and trying to convince me, or trying to con God into thinking, or to believe in me, that I'm gonna do all this stuff. And it's like, you don't know what you're gonna do. And we always judge celebrities about being rich, or the people who were born into being rich. Could you imagine never being broke? Could you imagine, like, the Kardashian kids, right? I can't remember all their names, like Kanye West kid and all the other kids. I feel like the Kardashians got a lot of kids that I just don't know about. But could you imagine never being broke? Could you imagine being Paris Hilton, who pops or grandpa or whatever had all that money from the jump? Could you imagine right now, like, if you had been broke? Could you imagine, like, I was talking to this girl, and I was talking to her about Teslas, the car Tesla, and I was explaining to her about how the car doesn't need no oil changes or doesn't need spark plugs and calibrated and honestly random stuff because the car's an electric car, meaning it has no engine, meaning that everything regarding an engine or the maintenance of an engine doesn't need to happen. And she was arguing with me. What about the oil changes? I was like, there's no oil change. There's got to be an oil change. I'm like, if you open up the hood of the car, it's literally another trunk. There's nothing. There's no oil to change. There's no like, and it was so hard to communicate to her that the car was literally you charge it up and you drive it. There is none of that. There's no engine. The car ain't got no engine. That's the whole point. And I could just see people at the gas station wondering where to put the gasoline at in this car. And that's how I don't want to be. I want to do everything to not be that kind of person. I don't want to never even immensely explore the fact that I may not be in this situation. Or maybe I said that wrong. I mean, I want to, I know in my mind that I believe, I should say, in my mind, that I'm not going to be broke forever. I really truly believe that. And call me crazy, call me whatever you want to call me, but my worst fear, y'all, is being average. My worst fear is at the end of this long life, after all the stuff I've been through, after everything that has happened to me, and all these lessons I've learned, that I just get old and die. And that's just me being transparent as possible. I really don't feel like digging on through that just for the sake of my own mind state at the moment. But ultimately, that's just the core of it. It's I do not want to be regular. I don't want to leave this earth. And it's not about people knowing my name. It's not about the accolades. And honestly, if I'm being all the way real, it's not even super for real about the wisdom I have that I'm trying to give out. I'm just trying not to be broke. And I don't think that's a good thing, but that's the real thing right now. And I know that there are certain things you can do in love that you can get paid for. And that's kind of what I'm leaning to. I'm just being realistic. Some people want to be like, man, if I did all this and this one person, if I help one person, then it was all worth it. No, it's not. Listen, if I did all this work on these albums and I sold one album, that flopped, homeboy. If you spend your money getting, making a documentary to change this or help that or inform people about some sort of topic, and one person watches it, you just wasted a lot of money, a lot of time on that for energy. I don't understand why people say that. And the problem I have with that statement is it's always about people who never have reached one person. I'm always watching somebody that's on the screen who had sold millions, or they already done the other side of it. So yeah, of course they can say, oh yeah, that if it was just one person, they can lie all they want to because no one can fact check them. It's already over. So I have a problem with that. Being on the other side of the spectrum, doing a lot of work and not a lot of people are receiving it. It's frustrating. It pisses me off. Now it does grow me. It does make me a better person and stuff like that. But it's not. It's not what I'm aiming for. I'm not trying to grow me, even though it does. That's the byproduct of what happened. I'm not trying to grow me. I'm trying to help others. So if no one pays attention and no one cares, I failed that particular thing. But the good I can take from it is I'm a stronger person now. I know I've learned lessons through the whole process about, okay, next time do this, do that, or I've learned having the right things. My particular avenue is music. So having the right songs and decide what I want to believe in and really look at it in the face. Because operated with a high integrity level, and when people hear my music, they're getting the honest truth at that particular time, um, or they're getting the full details of, or the truth about an event or events that happened to me or people I know, or whatever. Like if you heard it, you know. I try to be pretty direct. It's not really much like faint. I try to talk about just general random topics. A lot of my stuff is pretty direct, but this ain't about a promo for me. I'm just saying I can only speak from that point of view is the only reason why I'm bringing that up. And I think that a lot of people, they want to be relevant and they want to fall into trends. And that's a good way to fall into trends is not talk about you. Trends are just what's going on at that particular moment. That's not who you are. So you never heard me on track talking about something that was going on at that particular moment as far as, or not something that was going on, but more so of just making songs based on what was dope or what was being played at that time. And I think the biggest part of that was integrity. So if I put all in my integrity, which is all of me in it, and I'll do all this work, and one person's like, oh yeah, I like this a lot, or this changed me. Like, okay, I appreciate. Trust me, I'm grateful for that because I've been told that before, by a few people actually. Man, I listened to this song and it just made me feel better, or you said this and it made me think about that. I've been told that before, and that's a dope feeling, man. But it, the truth of the matter is, it didn't benefit enough people for me to be like world known or something like that. And that's what I was trying to do. Is like I was trying to get known. Part of me was trying to get known so I can help people. Like, because for some reason people believe celebrities before they believe their own brother or sister sitting there with them. Same wisdom level or same whatever, but one's on TV and one isn't, and you believe one over the other. So I just wanted to I wanted to get myself in a spot to influence in a positive manner. But I also knew that money was going to come with that. So I was like, man, I'm tired of being broke. I've been broke, man, all my life. But there's been ups and there's been downs. There's different levels of being broke. There's different levels in my opinion. But I will say for sure that I am just tired of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my daughter to need something and I can't provide it for her. And I'm talking about like adulthood. She's short on rent or whatever the case may be. I don't even want her to have to deal with that. But just as an example, if something happens to where she is for whatever reason, or she needs money at that particular moment for whatever reason, think of whatever you want to think of. I want her to be able to call me or text me, hey, I need this, and I'm instantly Apple Pay, PayPal, Cash App, whatever. Like no hesitance, no nothing. I want to be comfortable. I want to be, and I think that's part of adulthood. It's not even just like I personally want to be financially stable. I think that part of growing up is as much as I kind of want to snuff out the Bible and God, man, it's just so much in me that I can't. If I'm not saying it, it's kind of fake to an extent. Scriptures come to mind that I've learned about. I'm not going to tell you go to church, but there's a scripture that says, when I was a child, I thought like a child. But when I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember exactly what it says. But it says, when I was a child, I thought like a child, but when I grew up and became an adult, I put the childish things behind me. And one intriguing part of that, in my opinion, is the childish things have to be put behind you. They didn't fall off, or they didn't decide to just stop, or they didn't expire once the clock hit 12 on your 18th birthday, just because America says that's what adulthood starts. I really believe adulthood can. I think I kind of got me and a few people I know got pushed into. I mean, we all know those people that have to deal with adult things a little bit sooner than they need to be dealing with them. And I think that part, I wouldn't call that person an adult just because they've dealt with it, but there's adult things that they had to handle that inevitably, Patreon, causes them to have to step up and be a more mature person. And there's certain instances in my life where I've had to do that, but there's certain that comes at a cost. And it comes at a cost. And there's been times where I feel like I've tried to reach back and get my childhood back, or I spent most of my life back when I was at home, getting told what to do and when to do it. I was pretty much in prison. Like, imagine a person in prison, being in prison since birth, and then he goes out. That's what I was like. I was pretty much locked up. I was in jail until I was 18. A few conjugal. Probably shouldn't say that until I know what it is. I feel like that means humping on visits, and that's not what I'm talking about. A few visits here and there. My pops used to come get me, or sometimes even when I'd be over my grandma's house, and that was a big whatever. She was dope. Being in that environment was good and bad, but it was helpful nonetheless. Yeah. So besides those gaps when that would happen, the very brief breaks, I'd pretty much be locked up. So when I got out of my mom's crib, I was like, "Yo, what's good out here, world? I'm going to every Taco Bell. I don't go outside till it's dark. Everything is just like, it's what I want to do." And on top of not dealing with what I had going on, dealing with what had happened to me for the first 18 years, I just went wild out. And I was trying to make myself feel better without knowing I was doing that. And I'm saying all that to say, I jacked up a lot of my finances and stuff like that because I was trying to do too much. I was just not. No one ever taught me about money and learning and what I should do with my. No one taught me about money or budgeting or just saving or nothing. It was just like I don't know. I guess sent outside, and I was gone, and wasn't nobody coming. Didn't nobody try to come back and tell me anything. It was up to me to want to decide that it was something wise, and which right now, here I am, 32, and I'm just now kind of getting into the mindset of maybe I should take a little bit more. I should take this more seriously, and I wasted a lot of years just messing around, and I had to wait till I decided to make that something important. And that's just, it's wild to me. That's a PSA to all the parents who got kids. Like, man, whatever happens between you and the ex, or whatever happens, whatever, make sure you're teaching them about what they need to know. Because I mean, you might want to wait till it matters. But But I'm not gonna give you advice for something I didn't do. So all I'm saying is that I wasn't told, and I'm paying the price for not finding out sooner than later. And it's costly, people. It really is. It really is, and that's a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I'm sticking on finances for now, but that's, treating your body well and treating people well and just whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's very important things that we should be doing as humans. So I taking it a little bit more serious now. I got some apps on my phone to help me out. I asked a couple of friends who seem to be doing okay generally, what they do and how they do it and stuff like that. And I'm doing my own little recovery in it. But I feel like I want to know why it's such a big thing. Like, not because you need basic necessities. Someone told me, or let me back it up. That's a lie, actually. Someone didn't tell me. I heard it on a podcast. I listened to the Secret to Success podcast. And if you don't listen to that, I advise you get on it. It's very good. It's very informative. It's very dope. But it's not super boring. It's not boring. I hate boring podcasts. When you just sit there, it sounds like you listen to like a lecture or a teacher or something. I can't stand that. Like I'll subscribe so fast because I can't listen to that and stay awake. And it's a few play ones I listen to, but there's one, that one in particular is one of the ones I listen to kind of help me out. Because when you become an adult, it's up to you. Like here I am, 30. So I'm telling you, my parents didn't do something. I can't say it was their fault. They're the reason why I'm dealing with this particular thing, but I can't blame them at this point. I can't. Someone ask me what's wrong. I keep like, well, my mom, my dad. Like, okay, they not gonna come back and they're not gonna sit me down and decide to raise me. I'm in my mid-30s. It ain't gonna happen. So what's the next step? Okay, I gotta learn myself. I have to handle it myself. So then and I say myself, as in I go reach out for help, or saying, or I go look up this video, or go to this class, or look up this course, or whatever the case may be. YouTube is almost a must have tool. Don't just be on there watching stupid stuff. Like there's certain videos on there, okay, like I just talked about podcasts. Like there's some stuff that's on there that's fun, you can watch whatever, but take care of your business first. Be in a good place before you just sit there for hours and hours. And I'm speaking this from experience too, not just saying it just because I do this, but don't sit there for hours and hours just watching whatever. I was thinking today about Netflix, almost just like Netflix is like a lullaby or some sort of thing. Imagine, man, I never thought when I was little that I can just sit here on a TV with no wires or something like that and just have TV shows and movies beamed into my house. You can literally sit and watch any screen for eternity. They're constantly updating these, and when something's been on there for a while, hear from something else. By the time you get done watching all the stuff you want to watch, all the shows and all the movies, here comes something else, and it's set up for you to sit there and just watch TV all day, all night. So you might as well, if you're going to be sitting there with it, watch a documentary every once in a while. Kind of slowly ease that into your regimen of stuff you sit there and look at, because it's there. Look up informative stuff. The stuff I've learned so much from just watching YouTube, it's ridiculous. Like I call it Google University, YouTube University, because I literally learned so much, man. I gain a lot of knowledge from things and I also take people's perspective from those platforms, not just adopt them into my life or just force them into who I am as a person. I listen to what they say and I decide what's right, what I believe in, what I don't believe in. I question the answers. I look up answers for myself, stuff like that, man. Not everybody, YouTube ain't nothing but just somebody with a video camera just recording themselves talking to you. Which is books is another platform. A book is literally talking to that person. If you wouldn't sit there and ask them questions, they got answers to your questions that you don't have a chance to ask them, but they're answering them already. Like, okay, how do I do investments? I can't knock on Warren Buffett's door and be like, teach me stocks and bonds and investments and all this other stuff. But I don't know if he has a book or not, but if he had a book, I can go buy the book instead of just thinking, okay, well, I'll never be able to know this. Like, that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So as technology advances and as you get older, the excuses get smaller and smaller. And you, like I said, you're sitting there in front of the TV anyway. You're sitting there with your phone anyway. You might as well do something with it. Find an app that helps you save. Or, you know what I'm saying? You got a problem with meditation. There's apps that help you meditate. I'm not can't read no Bible all the time. Okay, there's a Bible app. There's probably a Quran app by now. There's probably all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like TED Talks is a heavy go-to of mine. Man, y'all just School of Life is another one, man. Just look up stuff. And And I was listening to, actually, I learned something I learned from D.L. Hughley this morning was, I can't remember how he worded it, but he ultimately was communicating that you can't always do what you want to do all the time. He said, he used the example of macaroni and cheese. He said, I love macaroni and cheese, but if I eat it every day, I'll die. And I was like, yeah, he went on to kind of go on about, sometimes we got to read what we don't want to read. Like, it may be boring. Like, I kind of contradicted myself about what I said about the podcast, but if I was reading, there was a book I just read, actually, y'all, I could probably tell you about now. There's a book I just finished called Outliers. It's by a dude named I almost said Maxwell's, Malcolm, I think Goldwell, or if you put in Outliers and Malcolm, you'll see his last name. But here's another thing, y'all, I'm not gonna say that, but okay. So I was listening to this book, and on YouTube, by the way, and I was following along on this PDF that I was able to find online, and it was the dude. If you ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule, this is where that came from. I believe, at least. Pretty sure he's the one that made it up, or at least came to the conclusion that 10,000 hours brings upon perfection, or don't let me mess it up. That's a good reason. That's a good reason for you to go find out yourself, because I'm doing this based on my memory, and I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but I'm kind of glad I brought it up. So there's a lot of stories in there about how the 10,000 hour thing is true. The Beatles, I guess, was trash at first, but what I didn't know about the Beatles until I read this book was that they actually had to be in this pub or whatever, this bar, playing for 8 hours a day. Like, imagine your 8 hour shift, literally you standing there playing music. That's pretty much what they did as a job. And they were trash at first, apparently. But the more they played, and they had to do that every day, the more they played, the more professional they got. And, of course, now we know who the Beatles are. For me to even use that as an example, I'm sure you're well aware of who I'm talking about. And that was theoretically it was pretty much based off of their time. And here's another thing that this is why you have to be a thinker. This is why you got to be a thinker, y'all. It's because there was a TED Talk. I told you I listened to TED Talks. There was a TED Talk that came on that I didn't even know. It had nothing to do with that book, but she mentioned the book in her talk. And I'm gonna say what she said for you to think about that, but then I'm also gonna tell you how that branched off in my mind. So first off, she said she brought up the 10,000 hour rule, and first off, the book. Let me go back just real quick. The book also mentions other things. The 10,000 hour rule isn't what the whole book is talking about, so don't think that was just like a chapter or maybe a couple chapters. There's other things in the book that have to do with whole other. It outliers to just people who are different. Something about just successful people, how to be successful, or whatever. So there's different things. Okay, so back to this lady's talk. She was talking about white mistreatment, I guess, or how white people, slavery and stuff like that. She was saying that, thinking about the 400 years that black people went through slavery. Think about all the 10,000 hours that were put within that. It was like, she did the math. It was like 10,000 hours, however many times over, and how white people pretty much have become professionals, generations after generation of professionals of just mistreating black people. And they may not even do it consciously. It's just part of what they have been practicing and what the parents have been teaching the kids, who teach their kids, who teach their kids, who teach their kids. And now we're here, and I'm getting, mistreated at work all this time later. And I mean, it's like, I say all this time later. Slavery ended, of course, back when it did, but needless to say, some people weren't down with it. So they just continued some people continued their time. And she was pretty much communicating that it's going to take 10,000 hours upon 10,000 hours upon 10,000 hours to get to the point to I guess fix the situation, to rectify the situation. And I thought it was pretty interesting perspective of that whole 10,000 hours thing. I never thought about it about people being, because I've heard of it before. But before I read that book, I've heard of it before. And I think there's even apps. I was talking about using your phone. There's an app that tracks your time. If you can put in when you start, put in when you stop, it'll track your 10,000 hours for you. So you ain't gotta like mentally go nuts. I looked it up after I got the book. And I was like, there should be an app. Me being a thinker and a problem solver, I just was like, there should be an app to coincide with this book. If they didn't do that, they're kind of goofy. But come to find out, there actually is an app, but it has not to do with the book, but it still does the same thing. It tracks your time, which I feel like is pretty dope. But anyways, what I took from that, besides the obvious, what she was communicating to the listeners, was the 10,000 hours I spend watch on Pornhub, or the 10,000 hours I spent on Netflix, or 10,000 hours I spend treating people however I treat them, or just kind of just lax. That's a real thing too. I become professional at things I don't want to do because I procrastinate too long, or I do bad things too long. And I don't think I spent that much time on Pornhub. I don't think I spent that much time on Netflix. But just as an example, I'm sure it's building up my time. You know what I'm saying? I'm building that time up, and it's a real thing. It really is, and I feel like you know, it made me think like, is there a way out? Because like I said, I like problem solving, and I guess the only way out, y'all, is to be intentional about your time. Because I spent 10,000 hours wasting money, and I've spent the 10,000 hours on talking myself into buying some mess I don't need to buy, or ordering food when I know I got bills, or stuff like that, and now I'm broke. And think about the 10,000 hours you spend not having no money and not doing anything about it. Like, all this adds up, y'all. If you sit there and let your life pass, we said 10,000 hours you spent. I haven't done the upload yet, but this has been at least 15, 20, 25 minutes, I guess. I kind of just made that up just now. I don't know what time this actually is, but think about the time you spend doing this or listening to this. Like, what are you doing right now? What did you do today? What did you do today? Think about it. I'm asking you. What did you do today? I'm gonna give you some time to think about it. It was probably what? You gotta watch. Do you have a routine, or you just get up and just do whatever you feel like doing, or how professional are you at that? How professional are you just sitting around not doing nothing, or how professional are you at complaining, or whatever? Or are you one of the few people who actually execute? Do you actually take care of business, or do you have a business you already actually working on, or you writing that book, or you learn? I mean, some people actually are doing it. I don't want to pretend everyone's doing bad, but I think a majority of people, safe to say, a majority of people aren't operating at the highest level they can, and that's just realistic, y'all. But I want to do something about it. Instead of saying it happens, I want to do something. So if y'all down for the cause, maybe I can come up with a website, get a domain name established, and we can kind of keep each other accountable. Let me know if there's something y'all want to do. Man, and last week y'all rude, because last week y'all didn't even get back to me about what I was talking about. I said, hit me up about that song. I ain't heard one comment. I gotta look back and see how many people actually listen. Actually, the audience is getting bigger, y'all. Every video I put out seems to have more people listening in, so I'm grateful. It's slowly but surely. And here's another thing, y'all. And here's what's going on in my mind as I'm doing these podcasts. I don't have 1 million people listening right now, but at some point, you go back to your favorite YouTube videos or your favorite show, or whatever the case. Well, actually, don't use the show because that's a bad example about what I'm about to say. Go back to your first, anybody you know that's personally creating, that isn't a team or a network or whatever, and look at their first YouTube videos, or listen to their first podcast, or something like that. Or even if you're watching a show, go back to the network's initial shows. Like, it was trash, or it's more trash than it is now. And the reason that's important is because these podcasts may not be the dopest at the moment, but I gotta get to episode 50 somehow. I can't wait till I get to episode 50 quality, and then start doing it. That's dumb, and you would never hear from me. It would never have started. And I'd rather start trash and then eventually get better than to wait till I'm than to wait until I'm perfect in my own personal mind, and start from there. Like, not everybody's gonna come out the gate dope, but I'm gonna do what I got to do with what I got until things progress, and I'm gonna get in the habit of being more consistent with things. That's why I feel like I can make music now. I ain't made music. I don't know nothing about music theory. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing. Didn't nobody teach me the program I'm using, but I can make a song with the program I got, based with no training whatsoever. Like, maybe a YouTube video here and there, but there ain't been more than 10 YouTube videos I watched on the program I use. And even this, I'm sure you get the point. So, I'm saying all that to say we got to do better. You want to be in a better place. I know I want to be in a better place. And I read somewhere that somebody said, what's the biggest problem? And then, what's the biggest problem that you're scared of for black people? And the dude said, black unity. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So the reason why I bring that up, I'm sure white people listen to this. I'm not just saying no black podcast. It's black owned or black ran, but this ain't just for black people. But the reason that's important is because think about how important spreading us out is to them, or to people, the evil people who want anybody broken apart. And that's in any aspect, black or white. Anybody whose highest objective, because that's the biggest fear they have, so they're going to take care of their biggest fear first. Their highest objective, highest priority is to make sure we're disband, or is disband a word? Somebody let me know. Or to be broken apart. And that's got to be for a reason. So how about we start with a few of us, and just maybe, one or two persons, how, I don't know, time frame, but you know what I'm saying, like, just little by little, more and more people get involved. And next thing you know, we got a whole gang of cats keeping each other accountable with what they got dealing with. And the reason we got a whole gang of cats, we got a whole gang of people keeping each other accountable on stuff. And that's important for a lot of reasons. First, I think one of the reasons is it's good to kind of keep yourself accountable, because I don't think anybody can just handle stuff like this, anything big at least, alone. I think it's the key part in growth and development, to want to work with people and also it's going to help you, because you want other people's money, but you don't want to work with people. I know one thing I learned by having a clothing line, having other people involved in what I could do theoretically, was having to work with them. I had to work with the clothing people who were printing the clothes about, okay, can I do this? Can I do that? Y'all on trip about this or whatever. I had to work with other people to vectorize my designs, which is a term that, the point of explaining if you don't know what clothing is and design is, but ultimately I had to. It's like it's like when you're making an album and you have to go to the studio. Okay, I can record it at the crib, even put it out, but you're gonna need a mix. You're gonna need a master. Can you record a song, make the beat, memorize the song, record it, mix it, and master it That's a lot of work for one person. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I've done making the beat, writing the song, remembering the song, recording it by myself, and that's not easy alone. And that's not you're not even done yet. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and what? So I needed to go to a studio. I had to pay someone else. Say, hey, could you record this? Can you mix this with your expertise, with your you got Pro Tools. I'm at the crib on my phone. Could you take this and can we do this and work together? So we may need somebody, hypothetic or not hypothetically, theoretic or not theoretically, figuratively. Thank you. Figuratively speaking, we may need someone to make the beat, or you may need somebody to write the song for you, or sometimes you may need somebody to record. You may need somebody else to mix and master. Y'all all doing one thing. When everybody's done with their work, there's gonna be one song. But everybody gets to live their dream and do what they want to do, and I feel like that's that could be a key part in everybody advancing, because everybody wants to advance. Like, I can tell you, man, do great with your money and be a better person. Then I get off this podcast and you go live your life, and I live mine, and that's it. And I feel like I'm not trying to start no whatever, but I feel like maybe I am trying to start something. Maybe I should start something. But what I'm trying to communicate is I think we need other people, and not to necessarily do the part that you were meant to do. But sometimes you need another person to publish the book, right? Maybe you need somebody else to make the tires before you can drive the car to the place. You know what I'm saying? Or you see what I'm getting at, y'all? Like I think if we, I mean, maybe we can come together and help each other out in some kind of way, shape, or form, instead of just being something else you listen to. Maybe this is a call to action, because I can use it. I can use this some help for other people. I love helping others, so let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's do what we got to do. I feel like I'm gonna order a bottle of Martinelli's for this moment. I think I'm gonna order a bottle, a couple probably. I like Martinelli's. I like apple juice. But anyways, I feel like this is going to be helpful for all of us if we do it. But it's going to have to be the involvement of others. I'll need to go to a website, create a domain, make the website, but it's going to be, I think whoever made the laptop, I think whoever made the Wi-Fi possible with the router, I think whoever hosted the website and the information, you know what I'm saying? I'm thankful for all them people, and I can't say I did it alone. I used what was available to me, and I didn't make what was available. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make the electricity and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you never do it alone anyway. People always say, I did this alone. I don't owe nobody. You didn't make that microphone. You know what I'm saying? You didn't create the foundation to let you do what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got help, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. So let's be intentional about what we help each other with and grow, man. What y'all want to do? Tell us. Be open about your dreams. And you ain't got to give details, because I know people be out here stealing ideas. And maybe if you work on a show, I ain't got to know what the show about. I ain't got to, you know what I'm saying, be involved in every single aspect of it. But hey, you know what I'm saying? How you doing with your show? How far have you gotten? You know what I'm saying? Or, what can we do to help you stay on track with whatever you're trying to do? Like, what are some goals you got? Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about coming up with a plan for execution, instead of just running our mouth about what we want to do. Everybody want to do something. Find anybody, anywhere, and they'll tell you what they want to do. Oh, I want to be this, or I want to be that, or I wish what you want don't mean nothing almost. It's what you. I don't know. I honestly, I guess what you want does mean stuff, but what is, I should say, what's more important than wanting something is what you're doing about wanting it. Because I could talk to you all day. I talk to you all day about how I wanted to start a podcast and how I wanted to be in a studio one day and to record it on YouTube, and You know what I'm saying? And be maybe have a co-host at some point in all this, and get a laptops with the microphones and be set up like looking like the Breakfast Club every morning. But right now, if I hadn't grabbed this phone and this mic, this iPhone mic that came with the phone, and if I hadn't talked to my brother Hav about what he did about how you make a podcast, that I wouldn't even know this was possible. You know what I'm saying? If I hadn't made all those YouTube channels that failed, all those videos on YouTube that failed, how would I know how to talk, or I would know the significance of certain things you have to do when you're talking to the public. You feel me? And it's those are the things I've learned while shooting videos, and even my YouTube videos got better and better before I stopped doing that too. And one problem with YouTube, y'all, is, well, let me figure out that, but I think it's important for us to stick together. And I was kind of talking about money. I meant to talk about money, but I think this is kind of turned more into like an execution episode. Like, what are we doing to do what we want to do? Because, man, I know y'all don't want to get old and just be one of those people that sit around, man. Ain't no way you want to be one of those people that just get old and just gotta get taken care of. I mean, maybe you do. I can't shame that, and I ain't had that enough to know the benefits of having all that around me. But man, I'm telling you, there's there's something in us that I feel like want to be more. Or let me say it like this: there's something in us that want to help people, and I think helping people with genuine care and love and really really wanting the best for people is gonna just cause you to be known. I ain't never seen no mixtape by no Mother Teresa. I ain't never seen no album by her. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill Gates is helping all these people. He donates millions and trillions and gajillions of monies to people. Did he, you know what I'm saying? Did he really want to do that? Or did he really, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I want people helped. I want people to have this a better world for them. And when you do all that, the money's gonna come. You being taken care of is gonna come. And I want to be like that. I think when you're too selfish, I think when you're too selfish, and you're too much to yourself, and everything you do has to do with you, that's when the brokenness comes. You know why I'm broke? Because I'm sitting there with this Wi-Fi. I'm sitting there with Netflix and Hulu, and I'm sitting there with this phone. I'm sitting here with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or when I'm ordering food for just me. You know what I'm saying? That's money. You know what I'm saying? When I'm trying to comfort myself to feel better about what's going on, man, that's money. Like, can you think about people who don't have nothing? You know what I'm saying? You get to them and you feel better. I ain't never ate nothing that made me feel as good as giving somebody some money, or helping somebody out some kind of way, or giving that person that gift that they wasn't expecting it, giving them something they like. Ain't nothing I ate, ain't nothing I did, ain't no porno movie dope enough to make you feel good enough, or as good as helping somebody out. And I don't know when we gonna learn that. Ain't no game you can play, ain't no movie you can watch. You just, when it's all self-consuming, it's a cycle, because you're trying to make yourself feel better, but you generally make yourself feel worse. It doesn't help at all. It's like eating chips when you're hungry. Eating on chips ain't finna fill you up. Chips are chips, and there's plenty of chip companies. There's literally companies made from making chips. What's wrong with my tongue today, y'all? Y'all pray for my tongue so I can talk. But there's whole chip companies. But you ain't never ate no bag of chips and be like, that's what I needed. That hit the spot. You eating chips because you just eating chips. Chips are really nothing. Chips are like, it's just nothing. It's pleasure food. It leads to nothing. I'm sorry, but you ain't never ate that. Finished that bag and you got full off of chips. You eating something else and had chips with it. You eating something else, and I feel like that's what spinning your wheels yourself is like. When you ain't doing nothing for nobody else, in whatever way that means for you, then you're eating chips to fill yourself. You're trying to live your life. You're trying to have your me time, and that's why life means nothing. Life ain't supposed to be self sustained, or you ain't supposed to live it by yourself in a whole. That's why punishment in jail. You already in jail away from everybody. That's punishment enough. And then there's something in jail. I'm sure you guys heard of called I keep wanting to say statutory. What's the word when they solitary? It's a word called it's solitary. When you're in solitary confinement, you sit in this hole or in this room by yourself. That's literally just a room away from absolutely everybody, and people go nuts in there. They go nuts. Why? If you can be by yourself, why do you go nuts? Hey, if that's what you want to do, if you want to take care of yourself, that's the perfect place to do it. Why is it such a big deal? Because we got something in us that somebody at some point figured out that we need to be around other people. And whenever you don't have that, you ain't where you need to be. Whenever you're by yourself, you're never where you need to be. There's certain instances where I guess I don't want to ultimify that. That'll, I need a dictionary. There's certain times of being by yourself, but people usually get by themselves for just a little while or whatever when they're constantly around people. Like imagine celebrities that can't go outside, that literally everybody would be around them if they could be, right? Because for some reason we worship entertainers. So then they go out to Walmart or something, and it's like, oh, can I take a picture? Oh, I know you, and let's just talk to me. Oh, my cousin got this dope song. I need you to hear it. And they try to pull up YouTube links, and you just really came there to get some food or whatever the case is. And that kind of stuff. Maybe you need to be by yourself for just a little while. I've heard moms say before, when they're constantly with their kids and constantly taking care of their whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case is. Sometimes they just want to be by themselves. I just need a day. I just need a night alone. I need a night. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't nothing wrong with that, but then you quickly grow into how you should be, which is being around people, and helping other people or whatever. So kind of thinking out loud, but I feel like that's how things should be. I think that's how we were set up as human beings. As human beings. Animals, wild animals outside take care of themselves, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but we be thinking we some kind of different thing. Like I understand we're not animals, but there's certain. I think we're not animals. We're at least animals. And let me explain myself. Well, I think that the behaviors animals have are the bare minimum of existence. And what I mean by that is, let's say, a bear, for instance, a wild bear outside, a grizzly bear or something, right? People think. Let me just start. Okay, so this bear has the kids, right? We all know not to go near no baby bear. The cubs or the mom is gonna wild out and do everything to you. I feel like if wild animals outside don't name their kids, don't got no future for them, no college, no I love you so much, we decided to make you and our family now kind of stuff. They ain't got no mindset about all that. They're not thinking about college and marriage and grandkids and all this other stuff. They just know that's my child. You touch it, I kill you. And that's the other side. That's the other side of love. That's how that's described to me. Like you'll see a bear playing with his kids, and that's one side. And the other side is if you touch that bear or touch those cubs, the bear will kill you. And they're both love. They're just on the other side of each spectrum, which I thought was amazing. But anyways, I'm saying all that to say, people think that I feel like it's in when people. So let's take it back to the humans, the people who don't take care of their kids for whatever reason. I feel like that is the most I don't know how to call it, the most opposite of human instinct or whatever human existence that there could possibly be. Or actually, not possibly. I think the first one would come with suicide. I'm not finna roast any suicide. I guess suicide victims don't make sense because they died, but people who are involved in suicide, like natural instinct, any animal outside try to save itself. If something tries to come up, some predator comes, it's running off. Even roaches will smell that raid and be like, "No, I'm out of here." And like, even bugs and stuff like that will run away if they know you're trying to do something to it. But for some reason, something in us, anybody who kills themselves is like the opposite of all that. Like, not only am I gonna not care if somebody tries to do something to me, I'm gonna do something to myself, and that's a whole deep thing that I don't want to get into because I've been there before, but I of course didn't do anything, and I'm so grateful for that. So I got a really strong opinion about that kind of thing, but I really feel like the instincts that people have within them are to stay together. And that's what I was talking about the bear for. I feel like the bear indicates a closeness. Like, yeah, you'll see a bear run around sometimes by itself, but you'll see animals all the time go out to get food or whatever the case may be for their kids or other bears or just whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? You see what happens. If you ever seen a penguin documentary, there's a gang of those by now, and they finna do another one. So penguins is a really good example. For some reason, we just love filming penguins, but that's another good example of an animal that'll do whatever to stay together. Like, you don't see a penguin by themselves most of the time. You don't see wolves by themselves most of the time. And I feel like we think that since we're on some higher level of thinking, or to an extent, we're on a higher level of thinking, that we can make our own decisions or we can become our own whatever. And that's just the pride that we have in us, the thinking that we can just be something else. Like, no, I actually shouldn't be alone right now. It's not. Let me say it like this: I would be better if someone was here. No matter who it was. I mean, well, I guess it does matter who it is, but I'm sure you see what I mean. And so let me kind of hone things in back on to let me center back things into what we were talking about. I think accountability and just staying in packs is wise because I don't know anybody who went out who didn't have some sort of help from somebody. And even if they did, they without a doubt went the slowest route possible. I think if someone said once, do something with somebody if you want it to stay long. Do it by yourself if you want it, or no, do it by yourself if you want it to stay long. Do it with someone else if you want it to happen fast. And I think being with someone, whatever the case is, two heads are better than one kind of thing. Everybody knows all these sayings, and people think sayings come out of nowhere, like somebody just thought of some bar. But no, man, these folks ain't rapping. Like, some of this stuff is actually legitimate, and it's as common as it is. It's held up. There's a lot of quotes you don't know. There's a lot of you don't know because they were less important. They didn't make no sense. Someone was whatever the case is, and you need to recognize the things that people have been saying for all this time need some extra thought. I'm not saying just do whatever they say, because some people were whatever, but there's certain sayings and stuff like that that actually make sense. Don't brush off the cliches. Definitely focus on what people are talking about. I think back to accountability and all that kind of stuff. I really feel like if we all came together and let us, because I like leading by example. I'm not going to be telling you, oh yeah, we need to do better with all this stuff, and then never do it myself. So I can come out with a platform. Well, y'all let me know where the holes are in the process. But I can try to come up with a. I'll think of a domain. I think maybe No Fiction Forever probably most likely is open. I'll check that out, and then we can start building each other. Let me know if that's something y'all want to do, or if that's just lame, or y'all feel like it's not gonna work, or whatever the case is. I'll probably end up doing what I want to do anyway, but I'd be a hypocrite to at least not ask. So yeah, let me know what y'all feel about that, man, because I feel like that can be some that can be vital for us, man. Even going back to what I thought I was going to talk about, which is the money part, that can help us a lot, man, as a community. And that's another. Look at I didn't finish watching this show, but there's a show on Netflix called Trigger Warning. It's Killer Mike. If you don't know Killer Mike, he's a rapper. The first episode I watched, I feel like it was the first one. I think it was first or second, but I feel like it was the first one. He tried to spend all day eating, just consuming black businesses, rather if it's food or rides, whatever the case may be. So he had to ride a bike. He couldn't eat pretty much most of the day because he was in a place where it just was no black businesses. I keep going back to the black thing because that's just where I'm at. But for real, there's no unity in anybody's circle, honestly. All I'm saying is let's do something about the problem. That may not be a website with people keeping each other accountable. That may be a dumb idea or not. I don't think it's a dumb idea, but it may not be the most effective. If you got something better, spit it out. Because I need to know. So does this world, and there's a lot of people who walking around doing stuff by themselves, and it just doesn't have to be that way. Like, why do this alone when you don't have to? You come up with a TV show, okay. Oh, you need music in that TV show, hit me up. You can do your show. I'm not taking your money. I'm not taking money out of your pocket and food out of your kid's mouth. But you're going to need music. So you can't be the actor and the person holding the camera. Let's just do this together, y'all. And the goal of this all is to help people, but money's gonna come along if it's good. You know what I'm saying? If we stay persistent and find where the flaws is and keep going from there, money's gonna come. And at the end of the day, if someone it was E.T. from the Eric Dr. Thomas from the Secret to Success podcast I was just telling you about. He said something that changed me too. He said people are always trying to play like it ain't about the money. It is about the money. He said, what is your basic needs? He named off food, shelter, and clothing, I think was the third one. I can't remember. I can't remember needs. That's crazy. That's how you know I'm broke. I can't remember what I need. I've been doing without for so long. But he was saying food. Let's pretend it's clothing because I feel like that was it. But he said food, shelter, and clothing. Now, out of those three things, I'm asking y'all now. Out of all those three things, which one of those are free? Ain't that? I guarantee you paying rent or mortgage. You probably went to the store to get some food, unless you went to the free store, and they gave you whatever. Because I remember doing that when I was little. Come at you with that box. I'll never forget that jelly, that can of ham that just said ham on it with the picture of the black pig. I didn't see the macaroni and cheese or just the boxes. We didn't live off of those charity boxes from churches. If you're doing that, I ain't mad at you. But somebody brought that. I don't know if you know that or not. But someone paid money, first off, to manufacture that. Then someone paid money to have the church open, to even have the you paying your taxes probably to keep that church open. Then you have to pay. If you're going back to the core things, you have to pay to manufacture it. Then you got to pay to ship it. Then you got to pay to have the church open to even get the food, and then you getting it. And you paying to either gas or electric, depending on what kind of stove you got or whatever the case may be. You paying electric for that microwave. Money is realistic. Money being a goal is realistic. It ain't gonna be what drives you. It ain't gonna be why the only reason. Because then if that's what drives you, you're gonna be doing something shady for it. But yeah, I feel like clothing, you can get free clothing, but guess what? Somebody made those clothes. That was a clothing company that made those clothes. It was not somebody's whoever sent some for sewing stuff. And even if they was, I'm sure they weren't doing it for free. Not for as many people who go get free clothes when it's available. So no, that was a company that someone paid, or they had a surplus of money, or whatever the case is. So money is definitely the core of a lot of things that people ignore. You sitting in something right now, that a chair or the car or whatever, or you standing on shoes that had to do something with some money, and it's real life. It's an honest objective, and I ain't never came up with a lot of y'all about nothing, nor do I plan to. So let's get this money. If nothing else, y'all, to be comfortable, to be the person that somebody needs something and you able to hand them out, not a loan, but a gift. If they genuinely come to you, yo, I'm broke. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? They ain't necessarily got to ask for it. If somebody just being transparent with you, you could be like, you know what, I got you. I got your phone bill this month. I got your rent this month. Don't worry about it. And if you keep your circle clean, you ain't got to worry about those people being taken advantage of you. Because that's first people's thought. Anytime you give somebody some money, oh, they finna play you. Why is that person near you then? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your fault. So, yeah. Well, that's all I'm going to say about that. I think we should get it started. Let me know what y'all feel like. And for real, let me know what y'all feel like. Rate the podcast for me. Try to give me the 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, I want to know why. Talk to me about what you feel like is going on so we can get it dealt with. Because why y'all letting me clown myself? Why y'all letting me walk around with this stuff all over my face and not say nothing about it? I thought you said you loved me. I thought you cared for me. What the hell you think I'm trying to do? Shout out to Kirkland. So yeah, that's all I guess say about all I gotta say about that. Um, Another news, man. I don't know. Sometimes I think about, like, should I talk about current events or should I not? I don't like. There's a scripture. Here we go back again with the Bible, right? But there's a scripture that I lean on pretty heavily. It keeps me focused, and it says something about not commenting. The general of the not. It said something about not commenting or not being involved in the citizens. I don't want to mess it up. I think y'all hate God because of me. But it says something about a captain or general shouldn't be involved in the citizens' affairs. Not involved, but it said not talking about or something like that, I think. And the way I took it is that I really don't care what the Kardashians are doing. I don't care who done split up, who done got together. Like, it literally is. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it does that don't mean nothing. And they not know we're talking about me. So I'm not wasting my time and my thoughts on them. No disrespect to them as people, but the character they display on TV or the screens, I can't go along with just watching this movie, this life movie they got. I can't. So I don't care too much about all that kind of thing. I bring up some game stuff, but I've been broke lately. Oh, one thing I can say is Kratos has a documentary coming out. Kratos, if you don't know, is the protagonist or the main character, I should say, in the game series God of War. They got a documentary coming out called Raising Kratos, and it's pretty much the creators of God of War, I guess, talking about what they've been through. Now, I actually beat the game, the first or second one. I feel like mid last year or early last year, because I actually played all 3 of them. I need some music to transition me into some stuff that's irrelevant to what's going on. People may skip to the end of this and be like, some God of War, hey God, da, da, da. Like, what's this dude talking about? But I'm excited about that because oh no, let me back up. What I was saying was is that I beat the game sometime last year, and when you do that, you get this making of I you get this making of God of War or something like that, and this is how I know this dude is really proud of what he's doing or what he's done. Or what I this is how I at least know how proud Sony is, if nothing else. I don't know if it's the same as that dude this whole entire time. It doesn't seem to be, but it could very well be. But they are super proud of God of War, and I know that because they were talking about that making God of War back. I think it was the third one, probably even. I played the first three because I thought I needed to play those three to play this new one, which I feel like should have been God's of War, but that kind of would have been spoilers. Um, but yeah. So what was I talking about? Oh, they were super proud of it because the way they was talking about it, they were so lit about just all the everything about him and just who he was and where he's from and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, they super lit about this dude. So now they officially coming out with a trailer, which seems to actually be primarily based on the new game, but they're gonna bring up the old one. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Man, I may have to give up my Avenger tickets um, because I'm broke, and if you ain't got Fandango, you a fool. Fandango lets you return tickets or exchange tickets, and there's been times where I done brought stuff for the wrong show, or I'll be with somebody and they can't come. 'Cause I don't mind ordering a movie by myself, but when you expecting somebody to be there, it's just different. So when they don't want to come, it's like, well, dang, what I'm saying? Almost don't make you want to not go. Like I'd rather just plan on going myself than have two people going and then they cancel. I can't wait till my beer connect because then that way ain't nobody finna cancel nothing. But anyways, we'll wait for that later. But yeah, I made to cancel my tickets because I'm just so broke, y'all. I'm trying to make it till payday. One good thing is, man, I'm just so ready to be different. I'm definitely making progression with music. I got some stuff I want to drop. I got some new ideas I've been thinking of, and I'm actually really excited for. So um, that's my 10,000 hours. I really feel like this music thing is going to be what changes some stuff, or to create 10,000 hours of creating. Period. I think this is going to definitely do some stuff. I'm just going to be some dope stuff. I'm working on some gems, so I'm really excited. Thank God I'm not kind of exit out of hip hop because that kind of helps me um, expand. And through that expansion, I realized certain things are possible. Like I don't know if y'all know. I may have mentioned this. I know I told at least two people by now, but there's this podcast that I found called Blackout, which the podcast is pretty much just um, it's a story. Every week it's a story. Um, it's like 20, 30 minutes of just like the story going on. Not someone reading a book, but it's telling the story as if you're just like listening to a movie, but you don't of course have to watch anything. And I was like, man, that's dope. I didn't know that was possible, but I would have been stuck not having to do anything with that new knowledge if I was still rapping and had to be stuck in hip hop's cages. So now that I'm not in that, man, I was thinking about like, what if I do that? If I got a lot of weird sounds. I downloaded this pack once for FL Studio, and I thought it was something else, but it was just a lot of weird, relevant sounds, like doors shutting and people putting dishes in the sink. I'm like, wait, what? I can't put this in no beat, but I kept it, and I can't remember why exactly. But now that stuff like that makes me grateful that I can expand. Like maybe I will at some point kind of do that. Like, I don't know. I don't like telling everybody my plans, but I like the idea of just being able to like listen to a story while you're doing whatever you're doing. Just kind of like how y'all listening to this now, and I feel like this is a dope idea. So if you ain't listening to Blackout, this ain't no promo. They're not paying me or nothing. But if you ain't, just look at a Blackout. If you ever played, if you ever watched Mr. Robot, it's the dude from that, the main dude from that, or the robot dude. I never seen Mr. Robot, but he's also in Until Dawn. So it's an actual celebrity. Now, hopefully that ain't the reason it's sold to y'all now, but he actually is the one like reading, doing the story. So I thought it was pretty dope because he's actually versatile. He just came out of um, Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's got to be pretty dope for you to have a whole movie named out of one song y'all did. That's pretty dope. But anyways, he's just versatile to me, and I always like that because I was watching Until Dawn. If you don't know what that is, it's a video game. It's like a horror game. He's in that too, which is a dope game. Um, it's a really dope game. I like the games that let you make choices. I don't know what that is about that kind of thing, but it's just so dope to me. I used to be pretty heavy in those one books that you had to like choose your path, like turn to this page if you want to do this, and turn that page if you want. I don't know why I love those so much. That's why I was so lit when Bandersnatch came out from Black Mirror. First of all, I love Black Mirror, but now that they came out with that Bandersnatch or Bandersnatch or whatever it is, and I just was like, man, it's a whole new level of dope. Y'all, when I tell y'all I sat up all night, I messed with my sleep cycle messing with that mess. Because I was sitting there, I picked every option and every little door. They told me there was like 6 or 7 endings. I was like, psh, wrapped. So I just sat there all night, just picking every single option. I found a secret one they had. Um, I found a secret. They had one. They had like a 7th ending that people was online talking about, and it just was dope, man. They did a really good job on that. That's why I think I liked Heavy Rain so much too. But Heavy Rain, shout out to Heavy Rain, shout out to Life is Strange, shout out to Telltale, all them joints like that, man. They're my favorite games probably. But the only thing wrong with Heavy Rain is that I wish you could have did other stuff to make the killer somebody else. I ain't gonna put no spoilers out there, just in case you randomly didn't play the game yet, which is a problem actually. But I really wish you could have made the killer somebody else based on decisions you made, and that would have been dope to me. Instead of it always being the same person, regardless of whatever you did. I don't know. That's my only complaint. I can't think of nothing else I got going on. Cuphead's coming to Switch. That is the whole reason why I won the Xbox. So I'm super glad. And that'll give me something to play when I get some money. It'll give me something to play without having to buy a. Actually, I want to be grateful. I did got a PS2 and a PS1 here that I got for now. Those may be out the door soon. The way my account looking, I may be playing games outside though after I get evictions. But I got PS2 and PS1 of some games here that I've been. Funny about PS2. I thought that was the system that just changed the world. And it was pretty dope. It's a huge library, but come to find out, there wasn't a lot of games I actually wanted to play. I didn't realize how much I didn't care about. I got most of the ones, and PS1's kind of even worse actually, because they had a smaller library. But yeah, I'm kind of salty. I got all the games. I got Volume 2 of Street, which I wanted. I got Tekken Tag. I could get all the games I rented back when I was little, and I just couldn't stop playing. But now, it's like they sit there and I don't do nothing with them. Hey, why do we do that, y'all? This is the right or wrong of the week. We buy stuff. We want stuff until we buy it. Tell me why we do that. Am I right or wrong? Everybody does that. I feel like, what's the point of wanting it if you ain't? Like, we just want it so bad, and then we get it. It's like we throw it in the trash and just don't. I don't know. It's just dumb. Like, why do we do that mess? It's so goofy. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. But I'm just about out of time. Yeah, but get back to me in the comments. Somebody hit me up some kind of way. I ain't on social media until Endgame drop because everybody putting out there's spoilers out. So I'm staying off the internet until I see the movie. But when I get back, man, I'm gonna check my boxes. Let me know how y'all feel about this accountability site, No Fiction Forever. I'll probably put some other stuff on there. Maybe, of course, I'll probably put the podcast on there. Maybe some videos or something. Maybe just whatever. We'll figure it out as we go. I ain't got it all figured out right now. But what I want to know from y'all right now is, would y'all be on there willing to sign up just as a little member or whatever, to keep each other accountable? Would that be enough for you to be held accountable? Or do you need even more than that? Let me know what you feel in the joints, and I'll be back sometime next week probably. We'll see how that go. Much love, respect, take care, that kind of thing. Peace. 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 Peace.